Do you train your dog, or does your dog train you? Well, Hungarian university researchers have concluded that after splitting up groups of humans and canines, that actually we can take a lead from man's best friend, where if they head off in a particular direction, many owners will subconsciously follow them. But does that amount to them training you? Well, let's ask Des Groom of Groom Vets in Kildare. Morning, Des.
Yeah, morning, Will. How are you? I think it's a good story.
It's a good story, but I just wonder if that it's been a little over egged in the headline. Like, surely if your dog and you are going on a walk together, you probably don't have a particular route in mind. And if your dog sets off, if they go right around the corner, you're probably going to follow them.
Yeah, that's true. Look, they have their favourite routes. Of course they do. They'll go in a particular direction. And if you're lost in your own thoughts, you'll just follow. That's what people do. Look, dogs are man's best friend, aren't they?
Well, they are, and I suppose we have cooperated as a species for a long time. I'm thinking in hunting and so on, where maybe it is somewhat
Mm.
ingrained into us to they're part of our pack, we're part of theirs.
Yeah, so we're almost a symbiotic species at this stage. Every second household has a dog, and a lot of the remaining households even have a cat. So to say that we're symbiotic, we're a species that have lived closely beside each other for 40,000 years, and we now share a lot of the same habits, going for a walk in the morning and all the rest of it. The origin of man's relationship with dogs, of course, started because dogs were used to assist the hunter-gatherer, the caveman, in the course of the daily food gathering, the daily hunting. But if you go back even further than that, this is a little theory of mine. I think in terms of the evolution of humans as hunters and even as scavengers, I think we probably developed a lot of those hunting habits from watching better hunters,
Mm.
from watching other species hunt. So the symbiosis can work both ways. Over time, we've learned from dogs, we've learned from nature, and dogs have learned from us.
Well, that brings up an interesting possibility. So maybe they are training us, but they're not consciously doing it.
That they're not consciously doing it. That's right. That's what I think. And look, it opens up possibilities of the potential usefulness of dogs in terms of helping people with therapy. And that can be physical therapy. It can be all sorts of special needs therapy for which the instinctive behaviors and the instinctive habits that are very easily to train into dogs, those behaviors can be used for good purposes. So, for instance, if you have an injured person coming back after a serious accident and they have to do certain therapies, a companion dog to assist with those therapies every day can be a good thing. People with mental conditions and autism and other conditions, therapy dogs can be very useful in terms of helping them deal with social situations. And we know, of course, that guide dogs have been so useful for generations. And it's amazing, really, the way dogs can be trained to navigate the human world and keep a blind person safe. It just goes to show the level of natural, innate intelligence that some breeds of dogs actually have.
Now, you've hit on it there. Some breeds of dogs. So, would you expect certain breeds, such as working dogs and hunting dogs, to be more effective at leading their owners?
Yeah, I would. So the dogs that have been working closest with people as working dogs to perform a particular task, they're the easiest to train to do stuff to help us. So collies are incredibly intelligent. They want to work. They want to be given a job to do, and they're very in tune with human needs, and they're very busy. Retrievers are less busy, calmer, more patient, and therefore they're more suitable for the less active tasks like the therapy helping and the guide dog helping stuff. So a lot of the dog's natural intelligence and natural usefulness depends on what they've been bred to do and evolved to do for generations.
So, how do you keep the balance? You want to give them some, I suppose, agency, and if you're out for a walk, having them lead may be harmless in some situations, but also you want to maintain consistent training and show them who's boss.
Yeah, you do. Okay, so the best relationship you can have with your dog is what Cesar Milan called calm, assertive leadership. So it's a little bit like parenting. Your dog is not your best friend. It's similar to a parent-child relationship, but you do need to be a bit more assertive. So the Cesar Millan term, calm, assertive leadership, and it's very good for regulating yourself and developing your own leadership, and knowing that you've got to behave in a particular way and a consistent way with the dog in order to get the dog to do the same. People who train dogs, they're very focused on tone of voice and behaviour and routine and regularity and consistency. And if you give the dog the same signals at the same time every day, then he will after a while fall into line and know what's required of him. So calm, assertive leadership is a good one. Another thing to remember then is if you're ever wondering what's best for your dog, or you're ever trying to figure out how to make your dog happy, think about what your dog's evolutionary past history actually was. So if you have a collie and you want to make a house pet out of that collie, do remember that dog is only a few generations away from herding sheep for hours every day. A golden retriever was a working gun dog. So again, they have the needs to be very busy. Springer spaniels, similarly, they were used for hunting. Sighthounds, they were used for hunting. So these dogs' innate natural needs are governed by what they were bred to do for hundreds of years. So we can't expect them to be couch potatoes and adapt to a sedentary lifestyle, because they won't unless we meet their natural needs. So the balance comes in, because we can turn working dogs into lovely house pets, but we have to find time every day to understand their natural needs and to meet their natural needs.
Des, useful as ever. Thank you very much for the call today.
Cheers, Will.
Des Groom from Groom Vets in Kildare. If you want to look up that research, by the way, it comes from a Hungarian university. They split up different groups. They found that, yes, humans did tend to follow the lead of the dog. Iotavas Lorand University. And, well, just keep it in the back of your mind. Are they training you? Are you training them? Is it a bit of both? I have my own who jumps at me with the frisbee, and I dutifully throw it. And yeah, I suppose I am trained well, haven't I?